given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the...
What's up, guys? It's your girl Maya, aka Mook, aka Lil Wobbly, aka the girl with too many nicknames. And today I wanted to be talking about a serious subject, mental health, because with everything going on in the world today, everybody has problems and everybody's going through something different and nobody's really going through the same thing. But personally, I wanted to talk about my mental health journey and how I got to where I am now. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm a lot better than where I was months ago. So let's get into it. First, let me begin this video by saying I myself suffer from 3 different mental health disorders that I have diagnosed. I have bipolar depression with rapid cycling, I have severe anxiety, and I have OCD. So those 3 together are kind of just like a big cocktail of wow, like craziness that just constantly is just going around in my head. And so yes, every day is a battle, and yes, every day is different than the next, but it's still something that I can deal with and that I hope that this video can help you guys deal with as well. So many of you know I was a freshman in college this year. I went to OSU and I was doing good, and my anxiety, it was there, but it wasn't that bad. And then it got to the point where I started coming home every single weekend, and I would never stay the week. I would never stay the weekend. I never went to any of the games. I didn't go have fun. I mainly stayed in my dorm room with my few friends. And it was so bad that my mom decided, hey, you should go to the doctor and you should try to get some help. And I agreed. I needed to get help. And so I went to the doctor and they prescribed me Zoloft. And I know it works for a lot of people and I know it doesn't work for a lot of people. So in the beginning it was working and it was doing everything it was supposed to. But it got to the point where I started having some pretty scary thoughts. And so these thoughts, I kind of fought them off for a while, fought them off. And they just kept growing and getting more and more profound. Like, they were there more. Sorry about that. There was somebody knocking on my door. But I was having thoughts, and they were getting really scary. And so I decided I was going to check myself into a mental hospital and get help. And so you're originally supposed to stay there from 5 to 7 days. And I ended up being there 12 because during the middle of the time, I was getting worse and worse still. And so they decided to up my doses on Zoloft. Well, my brain was having a reaction with the Zoloft, and it was just causing more and more thoughts and more depression, and I was spiraling out of control. And so about halfway through, after discovering that the Zoloft was having a reaction with my brain, they decided to put me on another medication, and they wanted to keep me a week so they can make sure the medication was working and it was regulated in my system. And so I stayed there for about a week, and it was a tough week, but I got therapy and I learned a lot of coping mechanisms. I made a lot of friends and people that had the same stuff going on as me, and it really helped. So after my 12th day there, they decided that it was time for me to go home, and that was really scary for me because when I was home, I had all these thoughts and I was scared and I didn't know what to do. And so, I talked to my doctor, we made a plan, and I went home. And so the first night home, it was really scary, really kind of surreal, not kind of in of it, not kind of out of it. But you're so used to being in the hospital with no phone, no family, nothing really but books and other patients. And so coming home and being thrown back into my old environment was kind of surreal. And so I got home, I was kind of quiet, played a couple of the games with my family that I learned in the hospital, and just had a kind of chill night. I learned what my triggers were and how they affected my everyday life. And so a few days after I left the hospital, I found out that a friend of my sister's had actually passed, and that was a little bit triggering for me. So it kind of threw me back into that loop, and I was home and I was still scared and I didn't know really what was going on. And so I kind of worked through that with my family and got through it. But on top of that, having anxiety and OCD, it just mixes in. Sometimes you have those moments where you have an anxiety attack or you have a panic attack and you feel like it's never gonna stop, but it always stops. And so then after that, it wasn't too many days before the coronavirus happened, and it started in my state with one patient, and that triggered my anxiety and my OCD and my bipolar. And so that kind of was really frightening for me, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until it is where it is now. And it really has been draining my mental health. My anxiety has been through the roof. I'm driving myself crazy. I'm driving my family crazy. It's just something that I have to something that I have to deal with every day, and it's really, really scary, and it's sometimes a little too scary. But I mean, everybody has these problems, and like, I'm being vulnerable on camera and telling you guys my problems, so I hope you understand, but I also hope it helps you. So you're not alone. Like, if you're going through something, feel free to like DM me or message me or leave something in the comments. Like, I know a lot of people are going through what I'm going through right now, and dealing with the anxiety and the scaredness of not knowing what's going to happen next, and all the stuff that's been going on in 2020. 2020 has just been one of those years where it's like, okay, one thing after another. It's done, 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 done. But I believe we can get through this, and everybody with mental health that is struggling right now, just know it will get better and you can get through this. Even with my battles of having to go deal with this anxiety every single day, I know that I still have one of the most supporting families ever. I may drive myself crazy with my anxiety every day, and I know I drive them crazy with my anxiety, but they're always there. They're always trying to calm me down. They're supportive. I mean, when I am having a freak out session, I make everybody wear a mask. You know, they still put on a mask, and they deal with my anxiety. And so I just want to say to those of you that don't have supporting families, or those of you that don't have families that believe in mental health, just know that I believe you. I see you. You're valid. Your feelings are valid. What you're going through is valid. And you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are, and you shouldn't be ashamed of what you're going through. Everybody has different problems. Nobody's perfect except. And the best part about all of this is that when I was in the hospital, I met the most loving, caring, and accepting people. Everybody in there cared for each other. I made so many friends that I still keep in contact with, and they're just amazing. And they're all ages, you know, they're from 18 up until their 60s, and they all understood what I was going through. And I was so used to feeling like an outcast and not having anybody there that understood what was going on in my brain, and I just felt like I didn't belong. But the second I started talking to people and I opened up about my mental health and what I was going through, I found such an amazing community of people that were just there, and they understood, and they still understand. If I need somebody to text, or if I'm going through something, I can reach out to them and they answer back, and they understand what I'm going through. And so if you guys ever need to reach out, or are having thoughts or something scary, just know that you can reach out. Sorry about that screaming. That was my mom trying to fight off my dog. But just know that, yeah, if you guys ever need anything, you can reach out, and I'm always here. But I really hope this video helped you guys understand my mental health and maybe learn something about your own mental health. And if you ever need me, I'm here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.